Today's very exciting video is going to be about how to install Snort as an intrusion detection and prevention system on pfSense. So you'll see here I have, here's my pfSense is already started, and I'm actually already logged into it. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and install Snort on it. So Snort comes in on the package manager. So I need to go into system, and I can go to package manager, and there right now are no packages currently installed. I need to go to available packages. It's going to retrieve that, and what I want is the Snort package. Search. So here's Snort, and I just hit install. Well, we got a little ways to go here. I'm gonna hit confirm. Just gonna download some stuff, do some stuff. As soon as the green bar shows, it means we're done. I can scroll down here and it looks, yep, we are done here. I mean, I could follow through that stuff. Green bar says you're done. Now, once that's in there, Snort is going to be a services. So I hit on services and go to Snort. There's now a Snort service, and here's all the stuff for Snort. So here's a couple of things we got to do. We need to go first into global settings. In global settings, what we need is a set of rules. Now this Snort VRT, we can do here, register user's rule account. I am not going to do that. This would be what you would typically do if you were setting this up for an actual business. You have to sign up for the free Snort rules, and it updates them a little less often than the paid subscriber rules. And if you're a business, you might do the paid subscriber rules. Snort is a decent intrusion detection and prevention system. I'll tell you right now, like if you're an enterprise people, like Snort doesn't do that great. We're going to use the GPL version 2, that's the open source community rules. So I'm going to check this box for enable the download there. I'm going to scroll down. A lot of this stuff is some rules things. We're going to keep going down here. With the update interval, you don't want never, that's not a good one. You do need an automatic update. Generally speaking, 1 day is going to be decent. You can go less than a day. What would I do here? Yeah, I wouldn't. You can go more often than a day, but I wouldn't necessarily do that either. All right, this is fine there. I'm going to scroll down here. The next one here is remove block host intervals. Don't leave this on never, because the blocked host list it has to be tracked inside Snort, and frankly speaking, what will happen is if someone tries to attack you and you block them, it's easy enough for them to change their IP address and then attack you again anyway. And so having these block rules, having massive block lists is not that good. And so I would do here, again, typically I do 1 day on this one. But in my notes it says you need to do it at most once a day. So I wouldn't actually do it less often than once a day. So you might be up in here. If you're on an enterprise system, and depending on how many people you get scanned by, you're going to be blocking a lot of hosts. It probably won't be, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say. On my own website, I'm probably getting hit by 30 or 40 different IP addresses at most in a day. And so if I did it, on here, if I did my website like 28 days, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. We're going to hit it as 1 day. And so that's very exciting. I'm going to hit save now. And this is, that part of it is basically ready to go. The next thing we need to do though is get a rule set. So I need to go to updates here. And I actually need to update the rules right now. Do you see how it says last update unknown, result unknown? I haven't updated my rules. If you're doing this, like I'm doing this on an Azure like subnet, And what happens is when my class all hits this button at the same time, it will, like the Snort rule set people will block IP addresses. And so this is something you need to do, especially if you're in my class, that you need to kind of do this on your own. If you're doing this on your own at a time when it's not busy, this will take like not any time at all. And so yeah, as you can see, it updated nice and quick. So we updated there. Typically you don't have to do force update. You might get an error here and then I might hit force update. But that's yeah, not a huge deal. There, okay. So that's, we now have a rule set that's updated. Yeah, it's funny here. Yeah, okay, we did that here. Now, Snort's still not actually running. Snort isn't running until you add interfaces. If I click on Snort interfaces, there's no interfaces right now. Typically, I add my WAN interface first. So notice here it does default to being the WAN interface. What I want to do here is block offenders that are on the WAN side, and you do typically want to block them on the WAN side. It's also possible to have the rules say to block or not block, but I am going to check here for blocking offenders. Now the other issue is this IPS mode. Since we're on a virtual machine, I can't do the faster mode. If we go to inline mode, this will, in theory, Snort will actually inspect the traffic before it gets sent to the host. We're going to keep it on legacy mode. What this means is Snort will look at the traffic at the same time it's being sent to the host, basically. And what that means is that in legacy mode, it's possible for your hacker to get a packet to the host before you block them. So this is, I mean, it's okay to hit legacy mode for better purposes. You would be doing inline, and you do want, what are we saying here? Yeah, it can decrease your performance to where your Snort is going to add a little more latency to your connection. For those of you that know what latency means, you're going to be interested in that. All right, so we added WAN settings. We are actually not going to enable packet capture. You can do, where is that? Splitting search. This is not really important here. Networks, we just leave these alone here. Suppression filtering list. Where's the logging packets? Oh, there it is. Checking this option automatically capture packets. One of the reasons I don't use this is that it only captures the offending packets. So by checking this box, it actually doesn't help you in diagnosing what happened. It will make it so you can see an actual alert generating packet. But if you're needing to monitor traffic, you have to do it another way, because this won't capture all the traffic you need. So we're gonna go down there. Now we're gonna go, all right, so now I think that's good. I'm gonna hit save here. Wait, do I wanna go over? No, we're gonna do save here. Then when we hit save, notice these other things appear. Now while we're in WAN settings, we actually need to do a couple of extra things. I need to switch to WAN categories, and it's still not enabled, by the way. I have to enable the rule set I clicked in the settings before. So any of the rule sets I have will be appearing here, and I need to check them. And so I'll hit save here. And then I actually want to go over to WAN rules. Under WAN rules, I should be seeing some rules here. So here, category selection, here's some automatic stuff that happens. GPL v2 is the rule we've been using. So I'm clicking here, and it will show me all the rules down here. What you'll see, by the way, is it says default disabled. Some of these rules are kind of rules that the Snort people at least think you're probably not going to be hit by this. But for our purposes right now, I'm going to actually hit enable all. So I'm going to hit enable all, and what that'll do is none of these will be default disabled anymore. They'll be enabled, and it's going to say enabled by user. But I do want to do that. Notice here we have this check mark, and we're all excited here. And we need to still say, notice up here it says click apply when finished, so I need to hit apply. And then that's done. So now we've applied, and all the rules are enabled. Okay, now we need to go back to Snort interfaces. We're going to leave this other stuff alone. Going back to Snort interfaces, and we're going to add another interface, and this will be the LAN interface. So notice here we're on LAN, it picked LAN, and this is kind of normal here. What I need to do here though is we're going to go to this, we're going to leave all as is. Let me just note here, it's typical. If, by the way, you did check this box, I'm actually, in my mind, I can't remember, but it won't block people on your home network because they're in this list. Let me just show you the list here. By default, you have to save it first. By default, it doesn't block the ones on the home net, and this is the local networks, WAN, IPs, gateways, VPNs, and VIPs. And so let me just save that. It won't block anything on that list anyway. And so my internal hosts, let me see if it enabled it now. I can see it. Yes. So it wouldn't block these anyway. And you'll notice here like 192.168.1.0/24. This includes the computers that are on my home network. Notice also this is the DNS server. It will never block that. It's never going to block, this is my pfSense IP address, that's right. Oops, that's not that one. That's the 10.1.0.2 is the pfSense IP address. The 10.1.0.1 is the upstream gateway. And what that also means is that if I access my Azure machine here, so if I go 10.1.0.1, and this is my Russell's Azure machine, this computer can never be blocked. Okay, so what that means, by the way, is if I want to generate a block, I need to generate a block by triggering it on something off of this entire VM setup. So we'll get to that in just a second. All right, I'm switching back to the configuration. This looks good. I did already save it. And I was just noting, by the way, that the blocking offenders here actually kind of doesn't make sense. So we're going back here to LAN categories. I do still need to enable those rules, so I'm checking the box for the rules. I'm going to hit save. So now the rules are checked. I can go back over here to LAN rules. I can click on GPL v2 community rules. I'm going to scroll down, and it's the same deal here. It has them in the red X, and I hit enable all. Then I'm going to hit apply. So this means that basically the rules themselves are ready to go. Snort is not actually running yet. So in order to actually get Snort to run, we go back to Snort interfaces, and it's actually stopped. That's why it has this X here. If I hit the play button, it starts it. You can see the little gears go, and now it's running. I'm going to start that one also. And this means now Snort is actually running. Before this, it wasn't running. Now it is running. All right, let me just show you. I do have one place, and this is what even a person on the internet could use. If you go to this IP address, it315.girlsgeekout.org, and you put in a slash, and you type in virus, and you type in /test.php. This, the whole purpose of this page is to generate a Snort error. Okay, did I spell that right? Girlsgeekout.org. Just double check what's going on here. I'm just opening it up in my other web browser because I have the actual link in here, and it's not in a good mood right now. IT315.girlsgeekout.org/virus/test.php. Oh shoot, and that's, why is that not obvious? Let me just show you here. In the previous exercise, we actually went into the firewall rules and we disabled this IP address on the LAN side, and that's why it's not working. It's this 216.92. So I'm going to delete that rule. Oops. I'm going to delete that right now. And now we're going to go back. I'm going to apply the changes. It's especially relevant to my students. Just check that this does this. Potential security threat, that's kind of funny. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, that's really funny. It's trying to do HTTPS, and it shouldn't be. It should be HTTP. Okay, this is a test to trigger a Snort alert, and this is because people try to, by default, do HTTPS. That will trigger, should trigger a Snort alert. So, Snort alert. We're going back to services. I'm going to click on Snort. And then we're going to see if we got an alert. So if I hit alerts here, there is an alert here, no content length or transfer encoding in HTTP response, and that's this IP address. That's the one that I had blocked before, but it did its job. It's done a Snort alert, and that's pretty cool.